Hi Hawks, this is Coach Bishop. I just wanted to send this video to you because I hope you're getting excited about the upcoming basketball season. I know I am. I'm really getting anxious to get started and can't wait to see you guys and get out on the court and start playing some ball. The season's going to be starting soon. We've got a couple of weeks. I think our practices start the week of November 3rd, and we're going to be practicing Thursday evenings, and then we'll get started pretty quickly after that with games, I believe. And so I wanted to send you this to give you a little bit of a preview of what I'm planning to have us do for our offense, so that you guys can get a head start if you watch this a few times and know what our plays are going to look like. The plays are just going to have some rules about where you go on the court in response to where the ball goes. It's not really going to be a script of you go to certain places every time. It's going to be reactionary to where you go based on where the ball goes, and I'll show you examples of that in a minute. It's going to look like a lot, but I think you'll pick it up very quickly, and everyone's going to get a chance to handle the ball, dribble, pass, shoot, make things happen, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. So let me show you what I have in mind here, what we're planning to do. Our first play is going to be called Omaha. With Omaha, the rule is that every time you pass the ball, you're going to cut to the goal. So it's a constant give and go. You give the ball up, you pass it, and you're going to go by cutting to the goal. So this is how we're going to start the setup of Omaha. One is going to have the ball up top. One is our point guard. Our other two guards, are numbered 2 and 3. They're going to be out at these positions, which are referred to as the wing positions. And then down on what's called the baseline down here, we've got our big guys, 4 and 5, which will be our forwards or centers. So the play is going to get started by 2 and 3 coming down and setting a screen on the defenders of 4 and 5. And 4 and 5 are going to pop up to the top. One of them at least should be open because of their defender being screened, and so one will pass the ball in this example to 4. Now, I said at the beginning, every time you pass the ball, it's a give and go. So one just passed it, and he's going to cut to the goal. Now, another rule is whenever the ball is passed from the top to one of these wing positions, the passer cuts to the goal looking for a pass back for an easy layup. If he doesn't get the ball, he's going to exit out to the opposite side from where he passed it. So in this example, 1 passed it to this side, over here to 4. He's going to cut through looking for a pass back for an easy layup. If he doesn't get it, he's going to exit out to this opposite side. So let's see that happen. And then as you can see, 5 and 3 are going to rotate around. Now 4, of course, can, after watching for 1 to go through, at this point now, if he doesn't pass it to 1, he can either dribble, try to make something happen. If he's able to take it in for a shot himself, he can pass it down here to 2, or he can pass it up top to 5. So in this example, we're going to say he passes it back up to the top. Another rule comes into play here, that anytime we pass the ball from the wing up to the top, the wing is going to also cut to the goal, because every time you pass it, you cut to the goal. But then instead of exiting out to the opposite side from where he came, he's going to exit out to the same side that he came from. So if it comes from the wing back up to the top, you cut to the goal. If you don't get the ball, you come back out to the same side that you left from. So 4 is going to cut through, he doesn't get the ball, comes back out to the same side, and 2 is going to rotate on up. And we're right back in our set position again here to run through Omaha again. So let me show you what happens if instead of passing the ball from the wing back up to the top, we pass the ball from the wing down to this baseline. So we're going to reset Omaha. We're going to play this all over again. 2 and 3 are up here at the top. They're going to start the play by screening down on 4 and 5's defenders. 4 and 5 pop up. 1 passes to 4, just like in the last example, and cuts through looking for a pass back from 4 for an easy layup. If he didn't get it, as he doesn't in this case, he's going to exit to the opposite side from where he passed it. And 5 and 3 rotate around. Now, 4 can pass it back up to the top. He can dribble, make something happen. Or in this example, he's going to pass it down to the baseline. Now generally we don't want the ball down in this area very often. This is kind of a, you can see there's a out of bounds line here, an out of bounds line here, and so those act as defenders. This ball handler here, number 2, can't really go very far those directions, so one defender can have him trapped pretty easily down here. So we generally don't want to go down here very often, but when we do, when 4 passes the ball down here, we're going to have 4 follow his pass and come down here and set a screen on the defender of 2 to allow 2 to dribble out of there and look for the ability to take the ball to the goal. So 4 is going to come down, set a screen, 2 will dribble it out, looking to see if he can dribble it in for an open shot. And after setting this screen on the defender of 2, 4 is going to roll off of that defender. So it's called a pick and roll. He's going to pick that defender. He's going to roll off of that back to the goal. And then 2, as he's dribbling, can look for 4 to be open right there. And hopefully we'll get an open shot under the goal. So lots of scoring opportunities. Lots of everyone gets a chance to handle the ball and move around. And we just keep rotating around through this Omaha play following those rules. Now a variation of Omaha is going to be called Omaha drop. And if we call drop, it's simply that we're going to send 2 cutters from the top to the goal. So in Omaha, when 1 passed the ball over here to the wing, he cut to the goal. And then in Omaha drop, we're going to send a second cutter behind him to the goal. So let me show you how this works. It starts exactly the same way, same setup as in Omaha. And it begins the same way, 2 and 3 screen down on the defenders of 4 and 5, and they're going to pop up. 1 passes to 4. And then he's going to cut to the goal looking for a pass. If he doesn't get it, he's going to exit out to the opposite side. So everything up to this point is exactly the same as in Omaha. But in drop, as I said, we send a second cutter. So after 5 rotates around to here, he's going to follow 1. And he's going to also cut through looking for a pass from 4. And then if he doesn't get it, he'll exit out to the opposite side. So that's really the only variation for drop. 4 now can still dribble the ball in. He can pass it down here to 2 and come down and set a screen on 2's guy just like we did in Omaha. Or he can pass it back up to 3 and cut to the goal and exit back out to the same side that he came from, just like in Omaha. The only difference with drop is whenever we pass the ball from the top to the wing, we send 2 cutters through to the goal. Now one more variation that we can do of this is called Omaha post. If we call post, that means we want to have one of our big guys be dedicated to stay around the goal, stay around the lane area here. And we might do this if there's a zone defense or if we're having a real problem getting rebounds, or we just want to have an extra guy help out with getting rebounds and hopefully get some more shots under the goal. So in this example, we're going to dedicate 5 as our post player that'll be hanging around under the goal. And for the most part, the rule for 5 is going to be he's going to stay away from the ball. He's going to be on the opposite side of the lane from where the ball is, but then periodically he will flash across the lane and look for a pass. So we'll show you how this happens. The rules for everyone else are pretty much the same with one exception that I'll tell you about. So in this case, we're going to get the play started by 1 passing to 3. 1, because he just passed the ball, is going to, just like in Omaha, is going to cut to the goal looking for a pass from 3 for an easy layup. Now the difference with Omaha post is that whenever we pass the ball from the top to one of these wing positions, instead of exiting out to the opposite side that you passed it to automatically, we're going to exit to what's called the empty side. So what I'm referring to as the empty side is this side over here. This side is consumed by 4. 4 is already over here on this side, so it's not empty. There is no 1 over here, so 1 is going to cut through and exit out to the empty side if he doesn't get the ball. Even if he had passed the ball to 2, he would have cut through and exit out to the side. So there is no concept of going opposite from where you pass the ball necessarily. Instead, you're having to look to where the empty side is and exit there. So The empty side in this example is opposite where 4 is. 1 will come out here if he doesn't get the ball. And now 5, following after 1 comes through and doesn't get the ball, 5 will come across the lane looking for a pass up here. If he can be open and get a pass, great. 3 will pass it to him. If not, 2 is going to screen down on 4's guy and on 4's defender, and 4 will pop around to give an outlet for 3. Now if 3 passes it back to the top, he's going to cut to the goal. So 5's going to slide down, and 3 is going to cut kind of to the free throw area here looking for a pass back. If he doesn't get it, 1's going to rotate up, and 3's going to exit back out to the same side that he came from. So the rule is exactly the same as in Omaha, with 3 cutting in. Instead of to the goal, is going to cut more to the free throw area because 5's already down here under the goal. He's going to cut more in this area, but he'll still exit out to the same side that he came from. And then we're set up, you can see here, very similar to how we were in the beginning for Omaha post. In the beginning, we had 5 and 4 over here on this side, whereas now it's set up the same way. It's exactly the same again, just with 5 and 3 over here on this side. So we're ready to run it again, and 4 can go to 2 with the ball, and after he passes it, what does he do? He's going to exit or cut to the goal, and he'll exit out to the empty side. Remember, pass from the top to the wing and post, you exit to the empty side. 3's over here already, so the empty side is over here. If 4 doesn't get the ball back, he'll exit to that empty side. 5's then going to follow after 4 cuts through. He'll cut across the lane looking for a pass there. So it just keeps running through. That's Omaha post. So that's all the variations of Omaha that we have. We have one set play that I'm going to go over just real briefly here. It's going to be called gate. And I want you to think of gate as being a double screen. So if you think of a screen as being like a screen door with one player setting the screen, a gate, if you think of it as like an old Western saloon gate with the 2 swinging gates, it's going to be 2 players setting screens, so a double screen. And gate, what we're going to do is we'll first set a gate for a player to come high around the free throw line, and then we'll set a gate for a player to go low on the baseline, and then we just keep rotating that. I'll show you how this works. So we set up very similar to the Omaha setup, except 4 and 5, instead of being out wide on the baseline, are going to be in near the lane. But it starts the same way with 2 and 3 screening down on 4 and 5's defenders. 4 and 5 will pop out. 1 passes the ball to 4. Now, unlike Omaha, where 1 would cut to the goal after passing it, in this example, 1's going to pass the ball from the top to the wing, and he's going to go opposite side, and he's going to be one of our 2 screeners to form the gate. And while 1's doing that, 4, of course, is looking for 2 to be open down here. If he can get the ball down to 2 and make a shot, make a play, he can do that. But 1's going to come down and be one of our screeners. 5 is going to come down and be the other screener for 3 to come around, and we're going to look for 3 to be open at the free throw line. Now 3 just came around 2 screens, so his defender would have to fight through both of these screens. He should be open here. If he's not, he can pop out. We can get the ball back to him. And 1 can slide out. We can pass the ball over to 1. 5 will come across here, and now we've got a gate here with 5 and 2. And this is going to be our underneath backdoor. Remember, we went over the top, then we're going to reverse the ball to the opposite side, and we're going to have an underneath backdoor screen here for 4 to come. Now it looks like from this video that he goes over the top. He'll really come underneath, really close to these 2 guys to make it hard for his defender to follow, come all the way there, and hopefully he'll be open for a shot under the goal there. Now what if he isn't open? What if we can't get him the ball? Let's reset this so 1 still has the ball up here. 4 just came around this gate and is here. We can't get him the ball. Well, we're going to have 3 come down and 3 and 2. on the opposite side from where the ball is, we'll set a gate for 5 to come around up top to the free throw line. And he should be open there. If he's not, we'll do exactly the same as we did on the other side. 5 will pop out. 1 will pass the ball up to 5. 2 will pop out here, and 3 will go across the lane. 4 and 3 are now the gate for 1 to come back door. And 1's going to come around here and look for a pass right there. And that gate just keeps rotating through. Now we're going to have a couple of variation special plays that we can call. One will be flat top, where we just line up all of our players along the baseline. And this gives a lot of freedom for, you can see 4 and 5 come into the lane, our big guys, and 2 and 3 just slide down to the baseline so that we're in a straight line along the bottom of the court. It gives a lot of flexibility and freedom for our point guard, for this number 1 player, to dribble around and try to make something happen. If he can dribble the ball in here and say 4's defender tries to pick him up and stop him, he can pass the ball off to 4 for a shot. And then the opposite of flat top, we can do high top. And it's the exact same thing, except we just slide everyone up it's in a straight line along the free throw line. And we can do a lot of things that we'll work on off of this. If, for instance, if 2's defender is really overplaying and being aggressive and keeping 1 from passing the ball to him, 2 can do a back cut to the goal, and 1 can pass over the top to him back here for a layup. So we're going to work on some things off of that. Well, again, Hawks, I'm really looking forward to getting started. I hope you guys can watch this a few times, and you'll have a better idea of what we're going to be working on once we get to practice as far as our offense goes. And I think you'll pick it up very quickly. I know it looks like a lot right now, but it's going to come fast, and you guys will get it and do a great job with it. So I'll see you all soon, and I will talk to you then. Thanks. Bye.